I got hired by a company to teach adults online, and I'm here to tell you what I thought about it, the pros and cons, and if it's a good fit for you or not. Welcome to the video, everyone. My name is Tim from OnlineTeacherDude.com, and if you've been following my channel, you might be asking, why are you promoting another company video? And the reason is because I truly believe that getting started with a company is a fantastic way to get into online teaching. It's the way I got started and thousands of others. While for me personally, I am making the transition out of one-to-one classes and into more of a coaching role for online teachers, expanding on those aspects of my business. I think that if you are looking for a company to get started, and especially if you're interested in teaching adults, not children, then this video all about Twenix might be a good fit for you. Twenix is an online ESL company operating in Spain and Italy, geared at teaching English online to adult professionals. And Twenix hires teachers, or as they refer to them as tweachers, from around the world to help them fulfill their mission. So now let's get into some of the key aspects of this company that I think you might really like. With Twenix, you can teach adult professionals online with conversation-based classes. Teach from day one. The company books classes for their teachers. There's no degree required. They hire native and near-native English speakers that allow you to choose your own teaching schedule. You can even transfer classes to other teachers when life gets busy, and they provide ready-made teaching materials in every class. Like what you're hearing so far, stick around to the end where I actually tell you exactly what it was like to teach a class on Twenix and all about the hiring process. So now let's talk about the requirements to get hired with Twenix. There are only two requirements. Number one, native level English proficiency. Number two, they want you to have a passion for teaching adult professionals online. Of course, the things that are really good to have in addition to that would be prior online teaching experience. That's going to make you stand out even more. A TEFL course as well is really good. I recommend the Bridge TEFL course. It's affordable, it's comprehensive, it's thorough, accredited, and it's really going to be a good addition to your resume. And number three, they want you to be able to navigate tech platforms and things like that. At Twenix, they have a pretty easygoing hiring process, and I can speak from experience because I went through it and it took me around 1 to 2 weeks. So the first thing you're going to do is actually apply, right? So I've got a link in the description of this video that you can click. This will help you get directly to their application webpage. Now, it is really important to know that you need to have your online teaching resume ready to go, and you can go over to my website, and I've got a good blog post all about creating an online teaching resume. I'll link that below as well. So after clearing that stage, you're going to hear back really soon, and you're going to enter the next stage, which is what we would call the demo videos. Now, the demo videos are not done live. You're not going to be teaching a pretend student, but you are going to have to record two separate 2-minute, up to 2-minute demo videos of sort of a mock situation with a class where you're going to have to introduce new vocabulary and bring in some questions and relate it to sort of the topic of the lesson. And the next stage really is the last stage, actually. It's the onboarding stage. And this is where you're going to create your profile, your account, and you're going to go through the onboarding course. So how long does it take to actually hear back from Twenix? During a recruitment phase, you're going to hear back within a couple of weeks, and outside of recruitment phases, you're going to get an automatic email letting you know about the next recruitment phase and what to expect. Now, once you've applied, you are going to go into that demo phase, and I want to share with you sort of how to pass the Twenix demo. So firstly, I read through their instructions really thoroughly. I wanted to be clear on what was expected, and so I went through it very clearly. So in a typical Twenix class, there's an objective, lesson vocabulary, and a set of questions. And for the 2-minute video, read through what you should be covering. And my tip is to really get to the point straight away, since you don't have a lot of time. Teaching on Twenix is very different than teaching children. For the demo, skip a long introduction and get straight into the topic and the target vocabulary. Just like with any demo video, you want to be in a well-lit area with background noise using clear sound and video. You can record this on your phone, which is what I did. And this is exactly my Twenix demo video without any sound. But you can also use their built-in recording camera on the Twenix platform. Also totally fine. But my suggestion is to just get right to it, get familiar with what they're looking for, and hit that record button. All right, hopefully that helped you with the demo video. And let's move on to now, what does Twenix pay? So what really sets Twenix apart from other companies is that they hire people from all nationalities, walks of life, and backgrounds. So one of the reasons why I really thought, that this would be a great company to share with you if you're at that stage of looking for a company is that I get a lot of non-native speakers or near native level speakers from other countries applying, and they just don't get an opportunity. So because of this, their pay is structured on the country that you are based in. So without going into a ton of detail, you can expect somewhere between $7 to, all the way up to $15 or $16 per hour. And it depends on the country that you're based in. So, yes, they do have teachers that are based in countries where the salary is going to be lower, but they also have teachers based in countries where the salary is going to be higher. So, this is something that I want to be really upfront with you in the beginning. Because it wasn't something that I'm used to. The other thing is they only pay through WISE. So if you're from a country that doesn't accept WISE, unfortunately you're not going to be able to teach on the platform because that is their primary method of payment. So if you're interested in getting a WISE account, you can get a free transfer with the link below and you can get set up and ready to go to accept payments. On top of their base pay, which is set during your interview, they also have incentive pay, they have seasonal pay depending on demand, and basically the more you teach, the more you earn. So it's one of those sort of scaled systems that you can get bonuses by teaching more classes. Okay, let me talk to you a little bit about my experience teaching a couple of classes on the platform. So there's a few ways that you can get bookings. The first way to get bookings once you're hired is immediately you can open up slots on the calendar. So this works like most platforms. You go into your calendar on the dashboard and you just open up availability, right? So open as much as you can in order to get bookings. This got me my first booking within 24 hours. Now, another really cool way to get bookings is to grab what they call transfer classes. So this is another great feature of the platform where if you need to cancel a class, you can actually select to transfer that class to another teacher. Immediately an email goes out or notification goes out to other teachers and they can grab that class. So honestly, guys, within the first 24 hours, I probably had about 30 or more notifications about potential transfer classes that were up for grabs. So you could go into your dashboard and just look at the classes that were up for grabs. Usually they were within the next 30 minutes to an hour. So for my first class, I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to have a bit of time to prepare for the lesson. But this is a great way to grab last minute bookings through their transfer class system. So after getting my first booking, I was able to go in and take a look at the student's profile, the lesson objective, the target vocabulary, the questions, as well as notes from previous teachers. So this was really helpful because it gave me a nice little overview of what the class was going to look like, and I felt really prepared going into it. So the way the classroom is set up is basically it can be either a video or an audio class. So when the time comes for the class to start, I sent a message to my student and said, hey, I'm ready when you are. And they said, I'm ready too. And at the time of the class starting, I called the student. So it rings like a phone. They answer it. Either they're on video or they're on audio. You will know that beforehand. So for me, the student was on video. And I had on the left-hand side, I had my lesson objective, the target vocabulary, and the questions. And then in the middle, we had our chat. And Twenix really likes you to put corrections inside the chat box as the student is making them so that you can go back at the end of class and review them. So they have them categorized by grammar mistakes, expressions or new vocabulary, things like that. But make sure that you are introducing the concept, the topic of the lesson in the beginning. You're going over those vocabulary words, helping with pronunciation, and then jumping into the conversation. At Twenix, the teacher is the leader of the class, so you really have to guide the lesson. There are no PPT slides or things like that. There are just a set of questions that are aligned with vocabulary and a topic. So as you're asking your questions, you're helping the student to incorporate new vocabulary. You're not correcting every mistake that the student makes, but you're kind of picking up on key words, key phrases, maybe new ways of saying things for the student that are more grammatically correct, and sharing that in the chat with the student and then going back after the discussion to kind of review things and help them to improve. They are there to learn. You know, they are really there to improve. They take it seriously. They're professionals that work in all kinds of industries, and they really enjoy their classes. And so because of that, the conversation really flows nicely. In the classes that I taught with them, we had a lot of fun, and I think that the student learned a lot as well. So the part that I found a little bit tricky, which I just wanted to share with you, is that while you are having a conversation with them, you are also kind of multitasking, which I'm sure as you teach more classes, it becomes much easier. But, you know, I was kind of picking up on mistakes, having to select the mistake that they made or the category, type out the mistake with the correction, also while trying to listen and pick up on new errors that were possibly being made, and also have responses that would encourage them to use new vocabulary. So it's kind of there's a lot going on, and you do sort of need to be on your toes and kind of thinking a lot, multitasking a little bit. I didn't find it too overwhelming, and I think that with more practice and more lessons taught, I would get much better at it. Now I want to end with my thoughts. What did I think about the process? What did I think about the company? What did I think about my classes? And sort of my pros and cons, I guess, as I talk about this. Because with every company that I've talked about on this channel, and I've got over 200 videos, a lot of folks like you may have found me because of online ESL companies, and I want to continue to bring you that content while being honest, transparent. And I think that I can't be any more transparent about this one because I actually went through the hiring process in order to make this video. So I went through the hiring process, got hired, and taught classes in order to make this video for you, because I haven't done really any videos on this channel about teaching adults online. And for me, this was the very first time that I've ever taught adults online as well. So it was a new experience, and one that I wanted to sort of experience for myself and for you. So here's what I think. Firstly, I love that they hire non-native or near native level English speakers who have so much experience learning English and can really transfer that knowledge to their students. I love how flexible Twenix is, where you can pick up classes at the last minute, you can pick up transfer classes and really build your own schedule. I love that classes are booked by Twenix and not by the students, so that you can really start teaching from day one. I think this is a really big plus, and something definitely that teachers are going to really love about working for Twenix. I'm not the biggest fan of their location-based pay, because I think that teachers should be paid equally. However, you know, they do open the doors to teachers that are not native English speakers to be able to apply. So across the board, I think it's fairly fair and just something that you should know about as you get into it. They also have a rating system that you need to maintain a fairly high rating within the platform. And you know, this can sometimes cause a little bit of stress because it's based on student feedback. And finally, they have a very strict cancellation policy. This is not unlike other companies, but something to be aware of. If you are not available to teach a class, just be really careful when you're opening up your calendar and make sure that you are actually able to teach. If you're looking for something now, you want to get started, you want to teach adults, you want something super flexible, I think they're a good option. So consider Twenix for your bridge to online teaching. Apply with the link in the description of this video. I hope this was valuable to you. If you're looking to get into online teaching, I have a free bootcamp course on my website, onlineteacherdo.com. You can go to onlineteacherdo.com/free course to join. Would love to have you in it. And I thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.